All right, Andy, we said it. Everything happened in the first segment. You get the return of Roman Reigns. You get the stare-off between Roman and Cody. And then we find out that there's a match that's been challenged by Solo Sikoa. It'll be Solo and Jacob against Roman and Cody in a massive tag team match at Bad Blood. Cody says, I'm not doing it. And then Nick Aldis says, I'm going to go talk to Roman Reigns. And then he says Roman's going to address the crowd. Well, Roman comes out. He addresses the crowd. He says this is still his WWE. And then the champion makes his entrance. And he says, not since WrestleMania, pal. And here we go. We get this stare off. Solo and Jacob come down. The contract is there. And then after some back and forth, Roman and Cody both sign it. The match is official. The place goes wild. It will be Roman and Cody in a tag team match at Bad Blood against Solo and Jacob. First of all, man, I flashed the graphic up at the beginning. You all see it's the thumbnail for the show. I'm going to flash it back up one more time. This team right here, Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns, is this bigger than the Mega Powers? Is this bigger than Hogan and Savage teaming up? You know, we see the handshake. You know, that's the famous video between them. But now, Cody and Roman, this generation's Rock and Austin, you already mentioned it. Is this team bigger than the Mega Powers?
I don't know about that. That's a bold claim. I mean, I get there's an argument for it. I don't know. And I don't know because we haven't seen. I think we have to wait till we see them in the ring together.
Okay, let me ask it this way.
Okay.
Is it more, when you look at this team, maybe it's not fair for me just to pigeonhole the Mega Powers. When you look at this team, do you see the Mega Powers? Or does it look more like Hogan Warrior when they teamed up?
I don't know. That's a good comparison. Because I was also thinking, like, this kind of gives, like, a baby-faced version of the two-man power trip.
Yeah. Austin and Triple H.
So, yeah, so kind of that of, you know, bitter rivals coming together for a reason, for something. I mean, if we're talking popularity-wise, there's not many other teams out there that are as popular as like with popular members as Roman and Cody.
Sure. Yep.
Because I know there were some people online trying to say that Cody was getting booed when he came out. There was some massive Cody chants when he was in the ring, and then there's a lot of OTC chants at the same time. Which USA needs to learn the difference between when they're chanting a cuss word and when they're chanting OTC, please. Like, there's a big difference between the two, and stop muting them because it's annoying because you can't hear anything when they do it. That drove me crazy on Friday.
People they can't blame Fox now because that was the scapegoat for so long.
Yeah. I'm so ready for them to move to Netflix for that reason alone of just not muting the crowd. Like, let's just let the crowd be the crowd, please. And let's just keep going. Anyways, I don't think, I mean, you have to put him up there with the Mega Powers. You have to put him up there with Hogan Warrior. You have to put him up there with Austin and Triple H. You have to put him up there kind of in a way with Rock and Mankind, like two baby faces coming together and just seeing what they do. I don't think it's going to be a long run. It's probably just a one-off. Maybe somewhere down the line we do Cody Roman versus Rock and Solo. Like, that could be something that we build to at some point as well. But I don't know. That's the thing, is I don't know the outcome of this, which is exciting, but also a little nerve-wracking at the same time.
Well, you're steering this ship in the right direction because we're about to address what we think might happen in this match. You brought up that it's a one-off. Let's look down the road for just a minute before we look at the match. Let's get past the match for a second. Sam Roberts brought it up on his podcast today. He said that we may not be headed towards a Bloodline versus Bloodline War Games. We may be getting the Bloodline 2.0 versus Roman, Cody, KO, and Randy. A completely Avengers babyface team to take out the Bloodline in War Games.
Yeah, I could see that. That's a big possibility.
And the only reason that I would lean towards that, because we've said for a long time that I think, or at least I think Cody is the fifth member of the original Bloodline team. It doesn't make any sense, but it's going to be their way to force Cody into the War Games match. And this is sort of the start of that. So the reason I kind of lean towards Sam is maybe they're not ready to put Jay with the Bloodline, or they don't want to cross brands, or
Jimmy's not ready yet.
Or Jimmy's not ready
something
yet.
like that, yeah.
So maybe.
Yeah, I mean I personally would rather see Bloodline versus Bloodline
Agreed.
in War Games. But I mean it's not a bad alternative of doing 4 versus 4 that way. And it makes sense storyline wise. It also makes sense if Randy turns at the end on everybody because he's upset or something. I don't know. But yeah, that would be a crazy way. And plus, at full circle of when he returned versus now, it would all make sense at that point.
Yeah, imagine if you have a match with Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns on the same team, and it's this huge War Games match, and Randy Orton is the dude standing tall. That would be so funny. It wouldn't surprise.
I would love it. It would be the most Randy Orton thing in the world.
I know. It really would. All right, let's talk about the Bad Blood match. Again, it's Roman and Cody against Solo and Jacob Fatu. So many ways you can go with it. I've got 3 scenarios here, and I'm going to have to read this so I don't forget. 3 scenarios in which I think this match could play out. Number 1, Cody Rhodes. I think it's a given that Cody Rhodes is getting pinned in this match. It's what always happens in a tag match. Cody Rhodes gets pinned. I think Cody gets pinned, and he blames Roman for not helping him. Okay. I think Cody gets pinned. Roman blames Cody for losing the match. Okay. Fair option, right? Because Roman wants back at his bloodline, and Cody costed him that opportunity. Okay, fair. Option number 3. Cody gets beat because Roman joins this version of the bloodline and turns heel. There are 3 very plausible scenarios, all 3 leading to Cody Rhodes getting pinned.
Yeah, I think it's a safe bet that Cody's getting pinned. It would make no sense for Roman to turn heel and join the group. Like I don't see any point, because if he turns heel and joins the group, then he's just acknowledging Solo as the tribal chief, and so he takes a back seat role in the bloodline.
Sure.
Which I don't think plays out. I think there is a scenario where Solo is the one that gets pinned.
Okay.
And that's when possibly The Rock comes out, and that's where they kick Solo out with this new Rock, Jacob, and the Tongans. And they kick Solo out because he lost to Roman and Cody, and the bloodline beat down all 3, and the new bloodline stands tall. If they're going to go into the bloodline versus bloodline at War Games, I think that's a direction that they could go. Mm-hmm. I'm not a fan of Cody taking the pin. Like, I know it's the thing to do. This screams Solo taking the pin to me more than Cody taking the pin.
Do you think well, I hate to ask this question because I'm going to sound dumb when I ask it. I'm going to ask it anyway. Do you think this is their way of getting Roman versus Solo? Is by having Roman pin Solo? Because we know Roman's not getting pinned in this match, and right. Jacob Fatu's not getting pinned in this match.
Right.
So
I don't even think they lock up. I don't even think those 2 get in the ring together.
That's very possible. Very, very possible. So does Roman pin Solo so that we don't have to do a singles match between the 2?
Possibly. I think if Rock comes out, then that's absolutely how that plays out.
Sure.
I think if Rock doesn't come out, I think Roman beating Solo is how they do Roman versus Solo for the Ulafala.
Okay.
And so they could do that at whatever shows after Survivor Series. I
don't think they're doing one until
Rumble.
Till Rumble. Yeah.
So then I guess they could do Bad Blood. They could do Roman pin Solo, War Games, if Roman's team wins,
He's the
then
chief.
at the Rumble we do Roman versus Solo for the Ulafala.
I could do that. Yeah,
I could see that kind of playing out, but
that makes sense. Wherever this thing goes, man, this partnership between Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns is both very good and very, very bad. And I'm not even going to venture down the rabbit hole that everybody online is venturing down right now in the fact that this could be bad for Cody's popularity. And this isn't good for your top babyface because you bring in a guy that everybody is in love with. And we just want to see Roman Reigns. And we've cheered Roman for so long. And now we're taking cheers away from Cody. I don't even want to address that. That is what it is. That is a huge wait and see game. Who knows? Cody Rhodes is still going to be the one making live events and selling merch and all that kind of stuff. So I don't think there's an argument to be had there yet. Here's why I think it could be bad. It's bad for Cody Rhodes. Because imagine how many stories are coming out of this partnership. Because look, we've talked about Kevin Owens turning on him. Now, Kevin Owens has fuel to turn on him because Cody has aligned himself with the most hated guy in the locker room. Same thing for Randy Orton. The bloodline put him out of action for 18 months. Cody, you're now aligning yourself with Roman Reigns. Oh, how about Jey Uso, the guy that you plucked from SmackDown to Raw to get him away from the bloodline? You were tag team champions with him, and you put your trust in him, and you're the one going back? Oh, let's not forget about your human shield, Seth Rollins, who put himself on the line for you at WrestleMania. Now you're teaming with Roman Reigns? That is 4 main event stories, no pun intended, main event stories to tell with Cody Rhodes. I say it's bad for Cody Rhodes as in he's going to have a humongous target on his back. But, dude, it is great for WWE because we have got so many fantastic ways we can go with a Cody Rhodes story now.
I mean, absolutely. There are many directions. I think you can throw AJ Styles back in there because of his run with the Bloodline. You can throw LA Knight in there because of their run with the Bloodline, his run with the Bloodline for a little bit as well. I mean, there's a lot of people that the Bloodline have done wrong that this could come back to bite Cody at some point.
Yep.
Which I think is fascinating. I also think the place might explode if at the end of the match Roman and Cody shake hands in the middle of the ring.
Oh,
like
that one might be bigger than the Mega Powers shaking hands.
Like I could see that happening, and I can envision it now of Roman and Cody shaking hands in the middle of the ring, and as soon as they shake hands, Rock's music hits, and he comes out. Yep. And it's like, oh, okay, now we're picking up steam. We're moving forward. So I mean, there's so many directions. And I feel like we say this all the time when it comes to Bloodline and Roman matches. If this main events, because I don't think it's a guarantee that this main events, because I honestly think Punk Drew deserve the main event spot more than this.
Yes,
but
agreed.
If this main event, something is happening at the end. And the only thing big enough I could see happening at the end is those two guys shaking hands in the middle of the ring. Rock comes out, and we start to head towards possibly Rock Cody at Rumble and Roman Solo at Rumble and a couple other things. So I mean, there's so many directions that they could head into for heading into WrestleMania season, which is just a couple months away.
Well, you just perfectly segued into my next point. It's so great when you do that, when you make these points. It's exactly where I'm going to go with this because it is about to be WrestleMania season. To me, the seasons are WrestleMania to SummerSlam and then SummerSlam to WrestleMania. And that's just the way that it works. Anything after SummerSlam is fair game for WrestleMania, in my opinion. So we're already looking ahead to WrestleMania. And I mentioned all of these great opponents that it sets up these stories for with Cody Rhodes. The one I didn't mention is Roman Reigns himself. There is a very, very, very good possibility that Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes' partnership is leading to a third straight WrestleMania main event between Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns in Las Vegas for WrestleMania 41.
Technically a fourth if you count night 2 or night 1. Because they were in the ring together.
Oh, but yeah. If you count that, yes. I just meant yes, you know what I mean.
But consecutive main event. I mean, I see a scenario where Roman wins the Rumble.
Yeah.
And
very easily.
Flip the script. You flip the script of what happened before.
Yep.
And this time Roman can have a rubber chicken thrown at him. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of, I mean, I could see Rock winning the Rumble. I could see Roman winning the Rumble. I can see, we talked about this, I could see Punk winning the Rumble. I mean, I could see Seth Rollins winning the Rumble. There's so many people this year that could win the Rumble and go after either Gunther or Cody.
Yep.
Which makes it very fascinating and a lot of fun. But it makes the road towards the Rumble feel even bigger.
Yes, it does.
Because like I said, there's so many options for WrestleMania too. Like you mentioned, we could do Cody Roman 3. We could do Rock Cody. We could do Rock Roman. I think there's a scenario where they could do Roman Jacob Fatu at WrestleMania because it's such a big moment right now. Like there's so many things that they can do with this story, and we're still 6, 7, 8 months away from it.
And I'll throw another one at you. Especially the way that it looks right now, you could do Rock, Roman, Cody triple threat.
Yeah.
You know, the way that
really
it looks now, because Roman stands alone, Cody's the baby face, Rock's the heel. Like, come on, let's go.
Yeah, there's a lot of directions that they can take this right now.
Man, a lot of people are upset about the way this is being handled for Cody Rhodes. Let them cook. Let's just let it play out, because in the end, we're all going to benefit from it. It's going to be awesome.
Well, my argument to the whole bringing Roman in is bad for Cody because it's taking away cheers from him. You could argue the same thing happened to Roman going into WrestleMania 40 with Cody, and Roman did just fine. Like these guys are at the point where the fan base is going to be behind them no matter what at this point. Barring, we start getting Super Cena levels of things and stupid booking decisions that could harm. But right now, Cody continues to get the biggest pops of the night.
Yep.
Roman gets big pops when he shows up.
Yep.
They rival each other. So I mean, it's not harming either one of them. It's literally like Rock Austin coming out there. Nobody was worried about the popularity of Austin when Rock started to get hot, and vice versa. Like this is one of the few times in WWE and since Rock Austin where you've had two people at the height of popularity.
Yep.
And it's not harming anybody. And I think there's more than just two. I think you could throw Rhea Ripley in there. I think you can throw Jey Uso in there. I think you can throw CM Punk in there. I think you can throw LA Knight in there. Like, there's so many people.
Let's not forget Seth Rollins, who's on the injured list.
Seth Rollins. Damian Priest is making his way up that list right now. Braun Breaker's making his way up this
LA Knight.
The Wyatt Six. Like, there are so many people that are getting massive pops. And it's good for the business because you're not relying on one person to draw in ratings. It's the entire group is doing it, and it takes a lot of pressure off, and it makes things work a lot easier.
Wrestling is literally, rephrase, WWE is and this is not a shot at anybody. WWE is literally hitting on all cylinders right now.
Yeah.
And it's insane to watch.
Yeah.